Good morning. This is Dylan Jovine with Behind the Markets. Happy Thursday. Today's Thursday, April 10th. And boy, I kicked off a little bit from work a little bit early yesterday after the market closed, picked up my son, and we went to go see Minecraft movie. And going to the movies by myself is something that I do whenever I'm turning problems over in my head or trying to think of something. I like to just pop into a movie in the afternoon. But to be able to share that with my son is just makes me so grateful. Thank God that I get to do that. Anyway, what are we going to talk about today? Other than the market. Again, as Goldman Sachs came out with a note yesterday saying that we are in clearly an event-driven bear market, and they're 100% right about that. The good news is that bear markets give us very special opportunities. Warren Buffett once said a bear market is an investor's best friend, and I'm going to explain why in a second. And he's 100% right. I have found this to be true through my own experience, not some abstract concept. I'm going to show you why that's true right now. But the bad news is if you play it the wrong way, you can get really hurt. For example, it could take so many years to recover from a bad mistake. I'm telling you, I've learned that lesson firsthand. And I still have some years before I retire, but I know many of you are retired and you're living off of a nest egg. So I can imagine how scary some of these headlines are. They'd be terrifying if you don't know how to look at them. One of the things that I've learned to do, it's a discipline during times like this, is say to myself, look, there are going to be terrible headlines. We know that all bear markets have terrible headlines. Again, as I talked about yesterday, that means cheap stock price. You don't get cheap stock prices without terrible headlines. It's just not the way it works, okay? In good headlines, you have crazy high valuation stock prices. Bad headlines equal cheap stock prices. This is good stuff. This is good stuff if you are thinking about it the right way, okay? It's terrible stuff if you're getting to a panic attack, you're future tripping, you're imagining, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. I'm going to have to be forced to work at the supermarket, or I'm going to be homeless. Oh my God, I'm going to be living under a bridge. I'm going to have to move in with my kids. Yikes. Who wants to do that? Oh my God, it's terrible. The first thing I want you to do, please, is take a deep breath. This is not our first rodeo. Everything that is happening now has happened before. And there are very important lessons that we can take from that. And I'm going to share some of them with you, okay? The first thing right now is not to lose your cool. There's a lot of crazy happening right now, but remember something. In good markets, great companies are very expensive. In bear markets, you can, for the rare opportunity, you can buy the best companies in the world for the cheapest prices in years. It's amazing. It is so exciting. I always look at it like I'm like a lion and I'm waiting for the prey to come to me. I'm hiding in the brush and I'm just waiting for the deer to come in. They come closer and closer. These are the stocks. I'm waiting for them to come down to my buy price, my strike zone. And when they do, we pounce. Or like a crocodile waits for a deer to come up to the water and drink. And you're just under that water, just waiting for the right stock to come in. Bang, you grab it. That's how I like to look at this. And scary headlines are part of the deal. That's the thing that you have to wait for. That's what you have to steel yourself through. I remember in the 2009 financial crisis, the greatest crisis since the Great Depression. I remember we're watching CNBC. Lehman Brothers goes out, Bear Stearns, everybody's crazy. All the world's coming to an end. And the greatest crisis since the Great Depression, they called it. The Great Depression. What a scary thought, the Great Depression. You're thinking food lines, Hoovervilles, all that stuff. So it really screws with your mind. What helps me is pulling the camera back and knowing a few things. Number one, American business does great over time. Just look at a chart of the Dow over the last 100 years. Two, bear markets give you great opportunities to buy the opportunities you don't get in normal markets, to buy the best companies in the world at cheap prices. Again, after people are still going to eat at McDonald's. Visa is still going to process transactions, merchant transactions. So is American Express. Meta, Facebook, people are still going to be scrolling on their Facebook accounts. People are still going to be doing these things, absent the headlines. And three, the most important thing, the most important decision right now is when to buy these great companies. Because again, you've looked at, for the last 10 years, you've been sitting around and buying your regular stocks, earning whatever it is you earn a year, and you've seen companies that have just gone bankers. And you say, gosh, I wish I would have owned NVIDIA at $20 a share. It's at $100 now, or $10 a share. The great thing about bear markets is you get a mulligan. You get a do-over. You actually get a chance to own all these great companies for a heck of a lot less than they're normally worth. at an average annualized earnings yield basis. So that's very good stuff. So if you've read the Midnight America playbook that we shared, then you already have cash and you're already a member of Ticket for Targets and you're already seeing what we're doing and you have the whole play because we sent a note out to you Sunday night. We sent another note out yesterday afternoon. But if not, a friend of mine said to me, what do I do if I have a bunch of stocks already? What do I do? I'm not sitting on a bunch of cash. I have a bunch of stocks. And I'm going to tell you what I said to my good friend Josh. I was like, look, hey, we're money managers, right? You have to say to yourself, where's the best place to invest your $1,000? So if you have $1,000 in a stock that went from 10 to 5, and you say to yourself, what's more likely for you to get the highest return? And that $500 you have in that stock, you have this position you have, it went from 10 to 5. You put $1,000 into it at $10 a share, and now it's at $5 a share because everything is sold off. It's crazy. And you have $500. The question you have to ask yourself is not whether that stock is going to come back. The question you have to ask yourself is, where's the best place to put that $500 right now? Is it in that stock that I bought a year ago, or is it in one of the companies that we're talking about, the Metas, the Visas, the Amazon? In my experience, you do not get a chance to, in a normal market, we have to bob and weave to earn great profits. How do you think we have a 40% average return rate behind the market? So it's a lot of bobbing and weaving, mid-cap stocks, this kind of stock, that kind of stock, all these little things. But in a bear market crash, it's really easy because all the best companies in the world, they come to you. They just come to you. The only thing you need are buy prices, which is what we specialize in here, knowing what price to buy them. Do you buy, Visa at $489 or Microsoft at $359, or do you wait? What are good prices? And the good news about that is they're easy to find because it's a math game, which is what we talk about in Takeover Targets. And I'll be sending a note out to BTM customers about this very thing today or tomorrow. Anyway, keep your cool, take a deep breath, recognize we're going to be through this. You could do nothing right now and you'll be better off. I'm sure that I believe in a year from now and 2 years from now. You can just say to yourself, this is just too much drama. I'm going fishing. And as long as you don't sell into a panic at weak prices, you'll be fine over time. A chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average proves that. So don't get wrapped up in the headlines. I know they're scary. I know you're thinking to yourself, you're future tripping a lot of you. Worst case scenario, I'd hate to, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? You'll be fine. You'll be fine. America is the greatest engine for wealth creation ever invented by mankind. And we will go back to creating wealth once this kind of freeze panic phase is over. You can bet on it because capitalism drives greed and humans are looking for ways to make money and all this other stuff. So we'll get past this. We're going to be fine. Just don't lose your cool. That's all I have. Have a wonderful day.